Heyo, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to some more Satisfactory, where since the last episode, I have been busy. But we'll get to that in just a second. And if you haven't seen the last episode, which was episode 4.5, my computer killed itself, and it took about a month and a half to finally get it fixed. But I still had some footage saved from before it died that was me exploring and collecting some artifacts and all the fun story stuff. So I threw that all together and put it into a little in-between episode. Now, after the month and a half break, I'm finally back and I'm finally able to continue playing Satisfactory. So I wanted to get back into Satisfactory by building this, which is a fairly simple, basic copper parts and Caterium, so AI limiters and quick wire. And I'm going to delete this. This is all temporary. I just need to move it from my starter factory over by the space elevator to somewhere else. And over here was nice because there's 3 normal copper nodes. There's 2, copper nodes. There's 2 there and 1 there. And then I belted over the Caterium from over there up on that hill there. This factory, I wanted to get back into the game with something that was fairly simple numbers wise, but something on a large scale so I could do all the fun logistics stuff and everything. And I had a lot of fun building this, and of course, you know, it's all one big flat platform because it's just gonna be deleted in the future anyway. But what we got going on here is we got all 270 belts of copper ingots being smelted here, and then I brought over the Caterium, and I'm using the fused quickwire alternate with copper and Caterium to get even more Caterium because I have more than enough copper for it. So we're making, what is this? I believe, is it 270? Yeah, 270 for 3 assemblers worth of Caterium on each belt. So one 270 belt is just being sent over to storage with a little bit of overflow. And then this 270 belt is being sent into here to make AI limiters. And we're making 15 AI limiters per minute with the help of some copper sheets that have been automated from this line of constructors here. Right there, there's 8 of them, and we need 75, is that right? Yes. We need 75 copper sheets per minute to make 15 AI limiters per minute, and those are belted over to the storage over there, with an overflow line, of course. And then we have the main copper line itself. We have, I believe this is 18. Yes, there's 18 constructors here, all making wire? No, cable. No, this is cable, this is wire. All making wire, and let's see here, 10 of the constructors worth of wire, so this whole row plus this one is going over there into 5 constructors making cable, and then the 8 in this row just being belted into storage, and then all of the cable being made over here is just being belted into storage. And then we have lastly, what is this, 6? I believe there's 6 here. Yep, 6 more machines making 60 total copper sheets per minute, all being belted into storage. So the logistics of this one and getting all the conveyor belts to move around and everything was a lot of fun to do. And to be honest, from over there up on that lookout tower, it does actually look pretty cool with all the belts moving everywhere and everything. But yeah, I'm deleting it all. So we got obviously the storage system down here. We got wire, cable, copper sheets, AI limiters, and quickwire all being sent to dimensional depots, which I got the Mercer Spheres for in the last half episode, episode 4.5. Go watch it if you're interested in all the story stuff and everything. That's mostly what it is. The other thing, if we head back over to the hub that I did in the little half episode last time, the other thing I did was I built the alien augmenter because we got enough summer soups for it. Don't know why this terminal's monitors aren't on, but it's fine. So we're getting a nice boost of power from that. However, now that I have that other copper factory down over there, all of this needs to go because I want to build a big old steel factory right here. And so I've been thinking about where to move it, and I do really like the having the space elevator in the water over here, having it like hovering out of the water. And I think it would be cool if I centered it and then made like a circular platform around the space elevator, and then I'll figure out where to put the hub on that. I don't know if I'll do it on the circular platform or if I should have like some external platform somewhere else that has the hub and all that stuff on it. But I think that could look really cool. Before I accidentally delete it, this industrial storage container has 1,000 smart plating in it, which is what we need for phase 2 of the space elevator. I'm not going to put it in until I get all of the materials that I need. just so that I can put them all in at the same time. But I went ahead and set up a assembler row to get that done. I don't remember if I actually talked about it or not, because it's been a month and a half since I made the last video. All right, I have made the circle. And I actually think it turned out pretty good. I moved the smart plating over to a container there. That'll get deleted once I get the other stuff I need for phase 2. And I also went ahead and added the hub on these little 4 corners. If I go over here, we can see it a lot better. Anyway, so we have the central circle around the space elevator. And then we have the power augmenter here, the hub over there. And I went ahead and threw in the blueprint designer over there on its little corner. And then over there on that side, oh, I fell, on the little corner over here, we have the little hypertube launcher to get over to the iron factory. I do want to move that in the future and make like a centralized hypertube hub network for the stuff I have right now. But I don't know where to put that or how many different things I'm gonna have going places, so it's going here for now and I'm gonna deal with it all later. But the little hub platform, it works. I do think having this angled and that, or this like coming out at a smoother angle and this at a 90 degree, it looks a little weird, but it's fine. I have also made a wall of these little personal storage containers with a blueprint. I'm pretty sure I got this design from a I'm Kibitz video years ago. So it's just a little blueprint. You just take 1 meter foundations and you stack them up like that. And then you just place the personal storage box on it and then go down a level, do that, go down a level, like that. And then you can just place the, obviously there'll be one on the floor too, and you can just place stackable conveyor pole and they're like that. So yeah, pretty simple. But it looks pretty cool. And it covers up the biomass burners because I need them. Then I have 2 more over here. And if I come over to the other side of the hub, I have my little station in here. We got the awesome shop. We got another row of personal storage boxes. The MAM. Another row of personal storage boxes. And the equipment workshop. So that's got all the stuff we need. And of course the crafting bench in here. So that's got all the stuff that we need. But now that we got everything moved over to the centralized area finally, it is time to destroy all of this. It can all go. It's all going. It's all gone. All of the starter stuff is gone. Bye-bye. All right, I'm gonna finish destroying this. Then we'll have a nice clean slate to work with to build a steel factory here. It is all gone. We now have a clean slate to work with. And I went ahead and added this little ring of power lines around the circle to connect the power augmenter to, and I think it looks pretty cool, and I'm going to continue it all the way around once I clear all these storage containers out. All of these storage containers are just storing all of the materials that was in the storage containers over there. I just moved them over here temporarily. I'm going to sink them eventually, but I was too lazy to do that now. I'm going to deal with that later. Now that we have this clean slate to work with, the nodes that I'm going to be using for this factory, we have 2 iron nodes here, another iron node here, and then there's 3 coal nodes up that big huge cliff up there, right here. So we got 3 pure coal nodes, 3 pure iron nodes, and then there's a limestone node here, and I believe there's a second one up here. I think that's where it's at, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using that. It's been a month and a half since I've looked at the map for the factory, so I don't actually remember if I'm using it or not, but I'm pretty sure I am. And then, of course, the 1 copper node here for stators. So now we have this big area. I want it to be in this zone. I do kind of have an idea in mind. I kind of want to do like maybe like 3 pillars and use that like gridded wall technique thing. Or it looks like a grill plate kind of, and do like an angled platform that goes up or something. But we'll see what happens. And I also kind of want to use this bridge, this bridge up here, because it's really cool looking too. So I'm just going to start placing down some foundations, see what happens, and see if I can find anything that looks good. Okay, so I placed down some foundations. I do not like this. This doesn't look all that great. These are way too big. I tried doing this for something more interesting. It doesn't really look very good. I don't like it very much. So that's going to be destroyed. But I do like the supports that I did on this bridge over here. I do think they look pretty good. I'm not sure if I want to use the pillars or not in there. It does look pretty plain without them. I really wanted it to have the pillars go angled like that. as well, but I can't get the angle. I don't think there's a snapping angle like that it doesn't align, unfortunately, but that's fine. So I do like that, but this I definitely do not like this. So I gotta take it all down and try again with something new. I think it's too big and everything's too blank. But it would be cool to have these continue up and like go at an angle inward. Anyway, I gotta try something else. I'm not liking where this is going. Okay, and I want to work with glass because we have all these fun new glass types and everything, and the glass looks so cool. I don't know how to implement it into this. It's kind of awkward because this is this big huge cliff here, and then these miners are out this far, so at least it has to be out this far to cover up the miners. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try something new, move some stuff around and see what I can do. Okay, so I've made a little bit of progress. I used some curved foundations in here as supports, and I do like that. I do like that it's curved in like this. And I tried to maybe like open this up and use some glass in this. You could see the miner, but it's kind of awkward because then there's this catwalk if I want it to be back far enough and have this inset. And I don't think it works very well. But it's definitely progress. And I forgot to say this last time, but obviously I'm not going to be fitting any or nearly any really machines down in this level below the cliff. Pretty much all of the actual machine work is going to be up top. All of the machine work is going to be up top on this level, and it's going to like continue out, and I'll probably integrate these pillars and stuff into the design. I think that would be cool. And it's going to go all the way out here, and there's going to be multiple levels up here. So all of this pretty much is just supports over the cliff. But the other issue that I'm having, and why I did the curves, is that everything I tried, it reminded me too much of the build over there. Because that's the exact same thing. It's like this cliff that hangs out, and there's supports that go down. And I do not want to do the same thing. I want to try and do something kind of different with every major factory I do. Try out new building styles and everything, because I don't want to just keep building the same thing over and over again. I want to get better at building and do something more interesting and have fun with trying out new things. So yeah, this is it's progress, but it just feels too similar to the iron build over there. And I think it's just because it's an overhang out over the ledge and these big huge pillars before the factory even starts. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I found out that the miners align perfectly height-wise with a couple layers of foundations here. And so I just put some catwalks down there to test that. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is have like two separate layers, I guess. Have this continue out and be a lower platform, not like that, like this, and be a lower platform out here. And then have the rest of the supports be inset further back into closer to the cliff face. And then have this lower platform out here. And I think that'll help differentiate it from that build a little bit more. So I'm gonna see what I can do and try that out and see how it works. But yep, I like this a lot more. So much I've already started just throwing in some machines in there because I thought they looked cool. So this is definitely a big improvement. I like this design a lot. So what we have is this, obviously this lower level that hangs out. And then we have these lit up little barriers, railings. So this sign in the short barrier, I stole it from YouTuber Total Eclipse. That's where I saw it from. So you have this sign that's like inset to the low barrier, and it looks really cool. And then I just added a little short railing on top of it. And so those go all the way around. Unfortunately, once you get about this far away, all of the signs stop showing up, except for a couple of them for some reason. And I've tried messing with settings, nothing really changes it, unfortunately. But when you get closer, they show up and it looks incredible. Then we have this staircase going up, of course. These were an absolute pain to place because they don't actually snap to where you want them to go. So for every single one, I had to hold them, nudge them out, and then nudge them back and nudge them into place. And it was very frustrating. But the smelters here. This is 9 smelters. Right there, going around the curve like that. They were very annoying to place and deal with. And so that's these 2 miners, 270 belts. So the outputs, they go up on a merger out here and connect around and then go back underneath. And of course, it's mirrored on this side too. Now, if we go underground here, the splitter system is ugly and I hate it. But it's underground. We just never come under here. and we just forget it exists. It's not here. So, and it does work, I think. I don't know, I haven't actually tested yet if these actually connected since they're on angles and stuff, but hopefully it works. And this side over here, connecting this is even worse. There's clipping, which I really don't like, but yeah, I really don't like that, but I had to. It's on this hill and it's very, oh, hi, lizard dog. How'd you get trapped down here? Anyway. Yeah, and that belt clips, but it's fine, it's fine. Just forget it's there. It's not there. So, I have a really solid design for this. Now we just gotta figure out this wall, which, here's that gridded wall thing I was talking about, where you place down road barriers like this, and then you need a wall, and you hold down control and replace each one with a wall, and then it does that. So, yeah, it looks super cool. This is the fix-it wall with the chrome finish. Or no, unpainted finish. Unpainted finish. But there's still 2 more finishes that I don't have. And now that I have been sitting here for so long building stuff, we should have a bunch more Awesome Sync tickets unlocked for me to grab out of the Awesome Sync and buy some more stuff like the rest of the finishes in the Awesome Shop. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. This is pretty much everything else left that I have to buy, except for the patterns. And yeah, I think that's everything except for the patterns and the boxes too, as well. But yeah, I think that's everything. And I just remembered that this was a thing. Let me do it really fast. Is it a thing? Yes, it is.
Fix-It sees what you did there. How creative. I have also been creative. There is something extra special for you in the Awesome Shop. It is a marvel of technology. It is truly the shape of the future. I will be sad if you do not use it and love it and tell any friends you make in the future all about it.
Is it the same? It is still the same Cyberwagon. So once we get enough tickets, I'll buy a factory card and a Cyberwagon. Oh, and the boombox. I forgot about the boombox. That's fun. Did I get a ticket back? I didn't. That's sad. Oh well. Well, now we have that unlocked, so that's nice. Let's get back to building now. I want to figure out what I'm gonna do with this back wall here. I really like the gridded wall, so I do think I want to just continue that upward and see how it turns out. I like this a lot. This is very different from anything I've built so far, and I think it looks really cool. So before we get to up there, let's first look at this down here. I replaced the with the concrete with the asphalt foundation. And then I added in some concrete pillars in the center of each foundation before I changed it so that I could line them up easily. And then I added in some small label signs all the way around the top to match the railings up there. And that looks super cool. I will say that this, where it clips over and everything, it does look a little weird, but it's fine. Like, it looks fine. Super cool down there. So that looks awesome. This whole, basically the lower platform is pretty much ready to go now. It's mostly done. And now up here. I just went for it and went entirely with the gridded walls because I thought they looked cool. So we have the, I used the carbon steel finish on these ones. I think it looks a little cooler, a little bit more reflective. And then we have a concrete pillar inset a little bit as the base here. And then I used that trick with the colors where you make it higher than 1. Normally, if you use the slider, the value can only go to 1 max, but if you type in a number, it will be higher than that and it'll make it brighter. So I used a teal color. Originally I wanted to use the Caterium finish as a sort of gold plating behind it, but it doesn't show up. It just looks dark. It looks very dark. And it looked bad with just plain concrete. Now, it looks cool with the lighter color, but I'm not sure if it's really what it should be. It looks cool, but I'm not totally sure about it. It might be a bit too bright, and it, like, the rest of the build looks fairly... I don't know. I don't know if it fits. I don't know how to describe it. The rest of the build, it doesn't... This feels like way too bright and happy fun times compared to the rest of the build. So, I don't know if... I think I need to change it, but I don't know what to change it to be honest, because if I do something that's not like a super bright color on the concrete, it just shows up as gray and dark and it doesn't look all that good. Unless I was to... No, I can't even do that. Unless I Okay, so if I was to inset a wall a little bit further back in the foundation, then I might be able to give it the gold finish, and then it would actually look how it's supposed to look. I'll try that. I'll give that a shot and see how that looks. But we have the 2 conveyor lifts going up for the 270 belts of iron ingots. Unfortunately, they had to be facing the wrong way, so that they would go up because there's just not enough space to have them facing the other way so you can actually properly see the iron ingots once they get up here. Unless, depending on what I do actually up here, it might change. And that's the other thing. There's a lot of Z fighting here, and I'm not sure what to do to fix it. I'll have to figure that out later. But we just got the same railing up here, and now we got the platform up here. So now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do up at the top here. Either these supports continue and they go out and they do that curved thing that I originally wanted to do, or it's just like a railing, but then it'd be like over there where we have a building that's set back in off of the foundation, which I don't really want to do, but I think this kind of lends itself better to that. But I just have to try stuff and see what happens. And there is a power slug up there. Hello. Anyway, so these foundations are going to come out a lot. Hello, a lot farther, like that. There we go. Also, I know I went over that mods are in the game in the last video. I have removed the infinite zoop mod. I didn't really like the zooping in both directions. Yes, it'd be super handy for stuff like this. But when I was just building generic things and trying to build, single line things, which I do more often, it got really annoying to try and be more specific about where I'm lining up my mouse and the foundations rather than just being like, oh, that perfect. Because if I did this, then it would be some huge platform going in both directions. So it was just kind of more annoying than it was helpful, in my opinion. So I decided to take it off. And for being up here on this platform, I want to bring the coal down this cliff and have it come across this bridge here, and then have another entrance into the factory over here on this angle. I might change the angle a little bit. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to integrate it into the rest of this wall here and make it look good. So that's the next step, is designing whatever I'm gonna do to go up here. So let's go ahead and get to work on that. All right, I have made a lot of good progress here. So we've got the windows going up, and I continued the gridded wall, and I also went ahead and replaced the blue foundations with gold fix-it walls, which I think looks so much better. The blue walls didn't fit. These look so much nicer and so much cooler, and I actually really like the blue and teal, or blue and teal, gold and teal look. I might want to go for, maybe not this color of teal, but I kind of want to go for some sort of blue and gold build. Maybe the next thing I do can be blue and gold color scheme kind of thing. It looks pretty cool. But like I said, we got the windows there, and then the gridded wall continuing up. I think this is the style I want to continue it up. So this is a second, would be another floor here, or sorry, the first floor here, and then up there would be another floor. So we got 4 foundations of height to work with to place machines in. Then I also went ahead and did all of this. So I sent this foundation all the way out, and I curved it and angled it so that it would continue with the curve of the little rock bridge. So now, as you can see by the conveyor belts lined up here, this is going to be the bus line of conveyors for the coal that's going to come way up from the mountain there. And then for the iron node that's there, and the limestone and copper nodes that are right there. And they'll all just head on this. I gave it some supports, just some inverted ramps to make it look a little nicer. And then I also created this, which I guess this might be the main entrance to the factory now. So we've got this angled platform here, and then just the 2-meter stairs going up, and then I had it in some railings as well. And I used the method with the beams to connect all the foundations up perfectly at the corners and everything, because it's a bunch of weird angles where you can, let's see if I can get a good example here. If I have this foundation like this, that's good enough, and I want to connect it perfectly at the edge here to somewhere over there. You can place the beam on the corner and middle of the foundation, and then switch it to freeform. and send it out to where you want to connect it to. Let's say I want to connect it to that foundation crossing there, and lock it in. And then you can just take the foundation, get it to the snapping point at the end of the beam, and then lock it in place and nudge it until you get it right on the corner there. And then you can do the same for the other side, like that. And then you can just fill it in, and there you go. You got a perfect connection. And so I used that to line up all of these foundations, as well as the curve for the bridge. And obviously I've also added this staircase up. I don't really like it very much. I don't like it. I want to remove it, but I have no idea how else to get up here. I mean, I guess I could create a big, huge ramp that goes down. I don't know. It's just really difficult to easily go up in height for the player without using a ladder, which I definitely don't want to use. So I don't know. And they used to have these like stairs, like dedicated stairs before 1.0, but they've been removed for some reason, which is what I used to use, and they looked a little nicer than the catwalks going around. So I don't know. I gotta figure something else out, but I don't know what exactly yet. I'll have to think about it. But I did go ahead and retexture these to the carbon steel finish, added them to all of the supports. So now we got beams on all the supports. I didn't change this, did I? Oh no, I did. It was just a weird reflection. So now we got the extra pillars on all the supports. I do like how they look. But now I'm going to get to work on figuring out what to do with this entrance here and how to tie it into the rest of the build, because it's at a strange angle. Oh yeah, I used the beam method to connect these foundations up as well. But anyway, it's at kind of a strange angle, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna work it into the rest of the build. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started working on that. Okay, so I ended up kind of working on the whole side bridge area. As you can see, we now have a conveyor bus line on the little bridge, and I also added this in. I don't know, I don't really think it fits very well with the rest of the build, but I don't really know what to do, to be completely honest. Maybe I should add in some walls and make it not like an open air thing, but it looks cool from this angle as an open air thing. So I don't know. I gotta figure out exactly what to do about this. But this I just kind of put together quickly because I ended up just working on this bus line. So we now have all of these conveyor belts hooked up and everything. We got the copper node there and the limestone node here, and they're belted over. I don't like the supports on this little bridge thing. It doesn't look right, but I don't know what to do to make it look right, so I'm just gonna leave it and deal with it later. It's fine. So we've got the bus line up here. Took up pretty much the whole foundation of width with the power line as well. And so these three belts are gonna be for full coal belts, and then that's the top one is copper, and that is limestone, and this bottom one there is for that iron node over there, which if we head over there, I belted it underneath the bridge because I'm not gonna clip the belt that way, and it goes underneath the bridge and comes up on this side with a conveyor lift. Same idea as the limestone and copper node, and this one looks fine pretty much as is. I don't really need to change much. I just added in a simple beam there and an angled one, and it looks perfectly fine. So I gotta figure out what to do with this and make it look not bad, but I don't know what to do yet, so it's fine. It doesn't exist yet. I'll deal with it later. In case you can't tell, I am starting to kind of struggle to come up with ideas to continue this build with. So I'm gonna just take a break from all the fancy design work, and why don't we go and take a look at all the math for this factory. Okay, so here we are in the Satisfactory modeler, which is, I believe, a fairly new app on Steam that you can get now to plan out all of your factories and builds and everything, which is pretty cool. Previously, I was using Obsidian, which is an app I found out from a Satisfactory YouTuber Bits, but that's all manual with the math, and then I would use the Satisfactory calculator to just do all that math and stuff. But now I do like this tool. I think I'm going to start using it. Still going to use the Satisfactory calculator to just quickly do the math and then probably copy it over to here, because I like the layout customization of this tool significantly better, and I don't mind just copying over some stuff. It's not that difficult. So what we got here is 3 smelters of iron ore, 270 each, and coal. The 270 each are going into 9 smelters, which we already have 2 of the sets of 9 smelters set up in the factory. And then all that and all the coal goes into 21 technically, 20.25 foundries to make the steel ingots. In total, we're making 1,215 steel ingots, and those get split up between steel pipes and steel beams. And then technically we're making 3.5 more than we need, but to be honest, you could just sink that, or I can just throw them into a little extra steel beam production, but I don't really want to make another machine. And actually, I don't even need to bother sinking it. These can just occasionally turn off and turn on if they fill up. It's 3.5 out of 1,200. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. When I did it this way, the math all worked out fairly simply. I did all of the more complicated materials, how many I wanted those, and then I just tried random numbers for the steel pipes and steel beams until I got something that used pretty much all of the available steel. So it's fine. It's a little, technically, yes, it's not 100% efficient, but it's 3.5 steel ingots. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so they get split up 400, no, oh wait, there we go. 460 of them go into making 115 steel beams per minute out of 8 constructors, and then the rest of them go into 25.05 constructors to make 501 steel pipes per minute, which then gets split up to make encased industrial beams with 2 full belts of concrete being made in 12 constructors and going into 9 assemblers to make 36 encased industrial beams per minute. 100 of the steel pipes just go directly to storage, and then 105 of them go down to make rotors, and the other 80 go down to make, or sorry, this is stators. Stators, and then the other 80 go down to make rotors, and that copper wire comes in from that one pure copper node. We're only using 260 out of 270, and it goes into, you know, almost 9 smelters, and then 17 1/3 constructors to make 520 total wire per minute, and it's split up. 280 goes into stators, 240 goes into rotors, and then 20 rotors get split off into storage, the other 20 go into motors, and then 20 stators go into motors, and the other 15 get split off into storage. And of course, we have 2 assemblers making 10 motors per minute. So that is the full math of the factory. Yes, this is a lot. It's probably just going to be for my storage system, pretty much, and resource sink points. I might split off, I'll probably, if I have a build nearby or something, I can easily split off some steel pipes and steel beams if I need to go make some other item. And to be honest, I can split off stators. And I don't even think I need to store stators at all. I don't think they're used for any building materials, but I planned this factory out before I knew that. So it's fine. Anyway, I can split these off, or even split some motors or rotors, whatever, off to build something else if I need to, because I won't need this many per minute. It's mainly just sink coupons at this point. However, the Satisfactory modeler tool does not show power consumption, but the Satisfactory calculator does. And looking at it, it says this is going to use 673 megawatts of power. That is quite a bit. Anyway, let's check and see how much power we have left to spare. Our max consumption is 2403 and our capacity is 3190. That's just enough. Wait, actually, hold on. 3190 minus 2403. So we have like just barely enough power to be able to run this factory right now. But thankfully, this is the last major like factory that I'm going to be doing before we get on to the next phase 2 of the space elevator. I am so excited to finally get started on that. I've basically been waiting a month and a half to start on phase 2 and continue progressing in the game and get on to more fun builds and everything. And now that we've gone through all of the math, I'm confident there's no way we're gonna fit all of these machines on just 2 floors. We're gonna need at least like 3, maybe even 4 floors. I'm not really sure. So I am going to continue this building design up. I'm probably just gonna kind of mirror the same thing that I did here with the windows up on this next level, and it's just like a foundation smaller. So yeah, I'm gonna continue this up a little bit. Okay, so I have made a good amount of progress on the building. It's technically actually a building now if we head in. And as I'm heading over here, as you can see, I have detailed this, added some beams going up and over, and a vertical beam, and then the railings. And I have also adjusted this open section so that it's now aligned with the entrance foundations instead of this weird sideways curve that we have going on here. And it's still open. I do think I can work it into the building with it being open, but we'll just have to see. But as you can see, I added in, well, 3 floors so far, and a back wall and another entrance on the other side of the building here. If we head out over here, we now have an entrance on this side of the building, and I just did the gridded walls with the gold walls behind it, and did a little stairs with angled pillar going up in the center, because there's this little gap in between the foundations there, and it fit a beam perfectly, so I figured I might as well use it. So, big pillar in the center, and I gotta figure out what to do with this. Oh, I fell. I gotta figure out exactly what to do with this. I had that ladder there for getting up and down. And if I could potentially do something like this and nudge a beam into, or a pillar into place there, that could look good. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I just have to align it with the corner of that foundation there, so I'll have to work on that later. Anyway, so we've got a couple different levels of the building, of course. I just have a temporary scaffolding to get up and down between the floors, and the gridded wall just continues up. And I want to have it keep continuing up and go over whatever the last level of the building is going to be. I want this to go up a little bit higher, and then come out and over and come back down. That way, I don't have to deal with weird angles and connecting these gridded walls to the weird angles and then trying to connect a roof. It's just going to be too complicated. Easier to do that way. Okay, but now that we have a couple of floors going, I want to start planning out where machines are going to go and getting rough ideas of where everything can go. That way I know how many floors I actually need to add to the building. So I'm going to plan this out, but I want to make some blueprints for the machines and add some detail around the machines and make them look better and actually like add an actual decent interior to the building, because I did not do that at all with the iron factory. I just kind of placed the machines in, and this needs some detail on the interior. I'm terrible at interiors in this game. I've never been able to really do them well. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can make something that doesn't look terrible. But I do want to purchase a couple of those patterns from the awesome shop, because I want, maybe I can use them for the interior as walkways and pathways and stuff like that all over the ground. Okay, so I have enough coupons to get the factory zone pathway and solid line patterns. Oh, hello.
Fix-It does not guarantee improvement of workplace readability, efficiency, or safety with use of these patterns, since the process of deployment is dependent on pioneer skill.
Okay, thank you. Tell me I'm not good enough or something? What's going on there? Okay, so now we got some patterns in the customizer there and everything. Can implement them into the floors and everything for in between all the machines. But I'm gonna get to work on laying out some places for the machines to go, and then heading over to the blueprint designer over there, which is blocked by the power augmenter, and start designing some blueprints and everything. Okay, I've actually made quite a lot of progress on the exterior and on the blueprints and everything, and machine layout. So I added in, obviously, some signs to all of the walls at a bunch of different spots. Got some there. To help tie it in with the foundation down there, because down there we got all the signs going around and everything, and I think it looks a lot better now, and helps tie this lower foundation into the rest of the building, and just adds a little bit of extra detail, and it looks awesome. But if we head over to this side, I set the conveyor belts right into a wall there, and this I think is where going to be the output of the factory is, along this wall here. I'll probably do the gridded wall thing, maybe, I'm not sure. Along here, but I think this is where I want the outputs to all be, and I've started laying out machines and everything. So these are going to be all the foundries for smelting all the steel ingots and everything. These are just for distance. I'm gonna make them all, I have made them all blueprints already, I just haven't placed them yet. And then this is for the last conveyor belt of iron to get all smelted up there, and then I've added in a little staircase to go up to the next floor, which we've got pretty much entirely constructors. I haven't fully finished laying out stuff yet, but it's all constructors. So over here we have all of the constructors we need for making the concrete. And right here, we have all the constructors we need for making the steel beams that will just be sent down to the storage system. And then for here, I was thinking I was going to start work on constructors for the steel pipes. We need like 20 of them, and I can fit some of them down here and some of them on the next floor up there, which I'm definitely going to need 4 floors. This is 4 floors, right? 1, 2, yeah. I'm definitely going to need 4 floors because there's no way I'm fitting the rest of like 20 something constructors and 24 assemblers on one floor here. I'm definitely gonna need at least one more floor, probably just one, hopefully just one, maybe 2, I don't know. But I have designed blueprints for the foundries and the smelters, so why don't we head over there and check out the design. Oh, and it looks like the smelter one's already loaded in. Okay, so this is the general design I'm going for the blueprints. So we got the smelters set up here. I used 3 because there's 9 total, and I can just duplicate this 3 times. So we've got the low barrier thingy with the lights in it as a wall around the side. And then we've got beam, like frame supports with the metal ones, and then the regular painted beams to support a light. And the power cables on the back here. And then, of course, these go around. So when these tile up, which I can go do in a second, hopefully it'll look really cool. And then I can just add in the low barriers along the side that, along the edges and stuff. So let's load up the other one. And for the foundries, they're super similar. They're pretty much the same thing, just wider pretty much. And there's 2 billboards per section. And I think they're spaced out. There's 6 meters in between here and 5 meters in between here. But there is also an extra, I think that's extra 1 meter of distance, maybe not, to there. So I think that's gonna mean it's gonna be 6 meters all the way through, but I don't know. Anyway, making the steel ingots, that's the right recipe, right? Yeah, it is. And same thing with the power on the second beam. So that's kind of the general design I'm going for. So now I'm gonna go place it inside of the factory over there and see how it looks. Okay, how is this arranged? Like that. Let's just lock it there temporarily. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, I changed my hologram color to white. I forgot about, it's supposed to make it a little easier to see the buildings and everything, which I think it does, and it also makes it easier to see the inputs and outputs. And I completely forgot that that's a thing that you could do, and then I saw a YouTuber doing it, so I decided to try it out. It's gonna take some getting used to, because I'm very used to the blue, but I do like it. It is definitely a little easier to see what's going on. So this is all properly aligned now, so we can just place that there, and then delete all of that, and copy this, change it to the blueprint mode, place it there, and then we just gotta connect. Oh, it goes over a little bit. I didn't realize it was gonna go over a little bit. Okay, can it go over on this foundation by a little bit more? Oh, it totally can. That was a placing mistake, I guess, when I didn't pay attention to that. Why doesn't it snap? There we go. I'm gonna hold it and move it one more. There we go. Now it's gonna be aligned properly. Still, ooh, it's right on the edge of that one, but this is on the outer foundation, so it's fine. And now we've got all that, and it connects up, and I think that looks pretty cool. I like the look of that, and it distracts from the plain roof on the ceiling, so I think it looks pretty cool. Let's try it with the smelter. Can I fit 3 smelters? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can fit, or I fit 3 foundries in there. Let's try it with the foundries. Is this the right direction? Yes, it is. Okay, let's make sure it's aligned properly and everything. Ooh, and these need to be 1, 2 more, 3 more in. Oh, crap. I didn't realize that. How did this happen? Or wait, how far apart are these? No, those are aligned as close as they can go. Ooh. Okay, yeah, see, I don't use blueprints very much. Like, all that often, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some messing around with this blueprint and get it fixed so that it works properly. So I'm gonna go work on fixing this blueprint, and then we'll get them all in, and then I'll design a blueprint for the constructor and keep planning out with the rest of the factory, and then check back in. I know this is an insanely huge time jump, but the factory is done now. Let me hop down off of this. I'm gonna destroy this. It is done. The factory is done. I decided to just go ahead and finish it all for a few reasons that I'll get into in a second, but this took many more levels than I was expecting. There is, actually it's gonna be easier if I have the little pointer thing. There's one level there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There is 6 levels to this place. There was almost gonna be 7, but no, I said no. I just used some power shards to fit all the machines. I was not expecting the build to be this big, and also I obviously changed out this center gold plating thing instead of windows there, because I think that looks a lot cooler and ties the two parts of the build together a little bit more. Anyway, by the time I had gotten into placing the machines and everything, like, I was just kind of ready to be done with the factory, to be completely honest. I just want to move on to the next tier of stuff. And I edited the video and it was already like 45 minutes long. I don't want to make an hour and a half long video. I know it's been a while since I've been able to make a video, but I don't want to make an hour and a half long video. So I just decided, okay, I'll just go ahead and finish the whole thing. Technically, it's not even done yet. The outside is nowhere near done. I have to do that still. But I just want to get the factory turned on. And also, it is 12:48 on the Friday that I want to post this. And I usually like to post them at 1 o'clock. So that's not going to happen, but I still want to get it out today, hopefully by 2. So I just want to turn it out. But if we come inside, everything is done. Everything is in place. I think it's all hooked up. There is so much conveyor belt spaghetti, and it's an absolute mess in here. I hate it. I do not want to build another building this way again. From now on, I want to focus on the interior and logistics as a priority, and then worry about the exterior afterwards, because this was a pain to do. But it's done, I think, and I have no idea what I did, what belts are going where. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even think I would have been able to explain it if I did it right after, like 2 seconds after I built everything up, because it is so confusing. Like all of this, what is this? I mean, I know that these are all the resources belts coming in. I don't remember where they're going, to be completely honest. I just know, actually, okay, I think these are the coal lines. And what is this one? Iron? I think that's maybe the iron line, and these are the coal lines, and they go down, and this is the iron ingots coming in, because these are all the foundries that make the steel ingots. I think that's how this goes? Yeah, that sounds right. And then I have the other limestone node being belted in from over there. What is this? Iron? Copper. This is copper. Copper going up here. See, this is way too confusing. I'm going to change how I design these factories entirely and make it a lot easier on myself, because I don't like this. And I am considering sometime in the distant future maybe just retrofitting this and turning this into my main base with a storage system in it or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. But oh, I did have some label signs. So these are the constructors that make the steel beams. I didn't even finish the walkways yet, because I'm going to do that in between episodes. The steel beams being made, they just go straight into the storage system, and they are belted up from somewhere over here. Oh, here we go. This is the worst part of the conveyor spaghetti. This is an abomination. This is so bad, but it works, I think. I don't know, I haven't actually turned it on yet. It kind of looks cool, but it is just a mess of conveyors everywhere, and all of these just go belted up into an awesome sync line. I didn't know where to put them, so I just put them on this little bit that juts out on the back of the building. I was gonna put them on the roof, but I didn't really want to find a way to send these two belts all the way up to the roof, because stuff is placed everywhere. And as you can see here, it was difficult to get, this is more pellets, but it was difficult to get everything to go through, and I swear every single time I was like, oh yeah, conveyor floor hole. That's lined up with the machine, it can go here, and then I go down to the next floor, and there's a conveyor running across, and I have to find a way to move it somewhere. It was so painful, and so I just ended up with this. But we do have the smart splitters running out. These all go down to the storage containers and everything. And then if we go up to the next level, oh, this is concrete, by the way. This is all the constructors making concrete. Over here we have, oh, hello, getting stuck. Over here on the same floor we have 80 rotors to go toward, or 80 pipes to go towards rotors. And that's this floor, it's entirely constructors. I'm gonna clear this catwalk, it was just an accessibility thing. Up on the next floor, we got all the copper. I think this floor is entirely copper, minus some other stuff right, no, it's all copper. It's entirely copper, I'm pretty sure. All the copper ingots, and all of these are constructors making copper. Even these? I thought these were something different. Are these copper? Oh, these are steel pipes. These are 100 pipes. Oh, these are the pipes that just go straight into the storage system. And again, more conveyor belt spaghetti over here. This is what I'm talking about, where I'd be like on the floor above, and I'd go, okay, I can place a conveyor floor hole like right here. Perfect. That lines up with the machines up there. And then I come down here, and it's in the middle of the belt. Oh, it was so annoying. Hey, and then up on the next floor, these are assemblers for encased industrial beams. I ended up not doing the blueprint frame part. These are still blueprinted, but I didn't do the frame around it because, one, it was really late when I was making the blueprints, and I was trying to go to bed, but I wanted to get these done and placed so that I could just build them all up the next day. And the way that the assemblers work, they kind of clip into one another, as you can see here, where this is as close as they can be placed together, but then the power line, it doesn't actually clip, but it almost clips into the machine. And so then when I'm trying to line up, say, the beams on the end, if I put them on the end, there's no snapping point. It's either too far over on this one or too far over on that one. You can't get it to snap in the middle, and I could do the control. Okay, it's being weird. I could do that, but even then it's still not centered. So yeah, I just decided not to do that part of the blueprint for it. It's fine. Anyway, all these constructors here are making more steel pipes to go towards all the other various items. If you're wondering what, you can look back in the video and see all the math, because I already explained the math. Don't build this. Don't try and do something like this where you're fitting everything into a small space. It's not a good idea. And these are the rest of the steel pipes that I needed as well. Over there to go up to the last floor. Is this the last floor? Yes, the last floor, which is entirely assemblers, making all of the end products. We got motors here, and then rotors and stators. Half of the machines go towards motors. Actually, I think technically more than half on the stators, but go towards motors, and half of the assemblers for rotors also go towards motors, and the other halves all just go down, get belted down through that mess of conveyor belts downstairs. See, I had to like move where the outputs were at. I had to bring, instead of just putting a floor hole there and sending it down, there's other stuff in the way, so I had to move it all the way over here and have these two be belted down together over here to get them to fit. But it's done. The machine part is done. The outside is still not done. The back is not done. Let me just go downstairs here through the quick drop elevator. This side of the building is kind of close to being done. I gotta figure out something to do with that and figure out that. I do like the window and how it goes in on that side, but it looks kind of weird with just a straight line. And then the back is completely unfinished. It's a big slab of concrete. There's nothing going on. And then if we come over to this side, it is a big wall of walls that I gotta deal with in between episodes. But I think all the automation is done, which was the most important part, and it looks bad over here. I gotta fix that too. Yay. But I just want to turn on the factory and get it working, so that I know, and there's probably going to be so much troubleshooting that I have to do. I don't want to deal with that, but oh well. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too I completely forgot about. So I was working on the interior, and I was like, you know, this really doesn't, it feels, I don't know, something feels off. And I was watching a couple of Satisfactory videos, and then I remembered Lumen exists, and so I turned it on, and let me turn it on again here, and you'll see when I turn it on, I just set it to high. If I turn it on, everything's instantly gonna look so much cooler. Probably gonna get a little framey in here, but look at that. That looks incredible with Lumen on. Actually, the frames aren't that bad. A little bit when I'm moving around a lot. I mean, this place looks incredible. Actually, let me turn it to medium. I think I like the look of medium better anyway. Yeah, I think medium looks a little better. I mean, this place just looks insane. I don't know why it's flickering so much, but it looks cool. It looks super cool with Lumen on. Because, like, the dark areas are super dark and they're just invisible. Oh, the purple. Look at the purple lighting from this. Yeah, so this whole, when I'm inside this factory, I start to get a little bit frammy, which I am surprised, very surprised about, because I've been monitoring like Task Manager and my CPU temps and stuff, and my CPU and GPU are only at about like 40% utilization, but yet my CPU's getting like way too hot, and I'm getting some not so great frames. So I'm assuming the frames are something to do with the engine itself. I don't know. I don't know how they do all the optimization fancy stuff, but I don't know why my CPU is still getting so hot. Anyway, it looks really cool in here now. Just with Lumen on, it makes it look so much cooler compared to with it off. But To be honest, kind of for general use, I prefer the look of lumen off. This is the first build that I've actually really used signs for in lighting, instead of just placing machines in a building. So I don't normally do that, and so I don't normally have a use for lumen, but it looks pretty cool. I will say it looks pretty cool. But anyway, now that all of it is done and ready to go, it's time to flip the switch and just turn this on and hope that it just works and I don't have to do any fixing of anything. Here we go. Okay. Ooh. I don't like that our max consumption is above that, but I think we have enough room there of other things not being on. I think we might be okay. Okay, so this is gonna take forever to turn on. Oh, I see a red light over here. I didn't connect something. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the only debugging I have to do is just simple stuff like forgetting to connect a power line or a belt or something. What's the other thing? So if I'm placing a beam, right, and I go into hologram mode, perfectly smooth, no frame issues. The second I pull out a conveyor, super framey, super laggy. And when I place the conveyor, the game freezes for a second. And it's only when I'm inside the building, thankfully, I think. Or maybe it's just when I'm looking at the building. No, I'm pretty sure it's only when I'm inside the building. So that's a little bit worrying. I'm hoping it's not my computer issue because I have a good computer. Oh, is that the limestone? Okay, the limestone's going up. Where's all these materials? These are gonna take forever, aren't they? Oh, I didn't even hook up the power to the miners, did I? I don't think I did that. Let me go do that real quick. The coal up here. Oh, wrong button. Up here. I just got a big old tower going up there. Uh-oh, no resources yet. Did I not connect the power? Thought I did. Maybe they just don't load. Anyway, got a big old tower going up. I'll add proper supports to it later. But it just comes down and around. Okay, the coal's going. I think I overclocked all the machines. So the belts look full. Yeah, the belts are full. Okay. The limestone and iron are slowly working their way in. Did I hook up? I didn't hook up the power to down here yet. I gotta do that. All right, now I guess we head inside and actually check on automation. Oh yeah, there was one thing that I found a little strange that made me very worried when I was hooking up. I ended up hooking up these last two rows of foundries because they were all going to the pipes. That was the last thing I did. And for some reason, this belt? 20 steel ingots. So there was supposed to be like 112.5 or something steel ingots going to this one place for pipes. And I ended up, there was only supposed to be 3.5 steel ingots left over, I think. But I ended up with like 20 something steel ingots left over. And I don't know where that came from or what is potentially operating inefficiently because I thought I belted everything up okay. So I don't know where that came from. And it makes me a little bit worried, but I'm hoping that either I just don't notice it and it's fine, this is just for storage system and coupons pretty much, or it's super obvious that one machine is clearly not getting the resources it needs. Check out if there's any materials in this one. There should be by now. Oh, yeah, look at that. First materials going into some of the storage containers. Just beams. That's worrying. I saw encased pipes coming in. Okay, so these are working. Why aren't the encased beams working? I saw them going down, being made. What's going on here? Okay, these are encased industrial beams. They went in, but they don't go in. Where did they go? They went into the dimensional depot. That's right. They're going into the dimensional depot first. I totally forgot about that. They gotta fill that up. Okay, we're already making rotors too. I forgot that they have to stack there before they actually show up in the containers. So that's good. So we're already making rotors. I saw those go in. Oh, encased beams. Plenty of steel pipes. And steel beams. Place this foundation back. We don't see any stators yet. There's motors. The first motor. We have made motors. They're automated. I think everything might be working. Everything's hooked up. Except I haven't seen any stators yet. Oh, I just saw one right there. I just saw one go in. And there it is. I think everything's being made. Because these are beams, right? Beams, pipes, encased beams, stators, or rotors, motors, rotors, stators. Everything is being made, I think. I'm gonna stand here and watch this for a bit and make sure. There's a motor. Beams and pipes are still good. There's an encased beam. Where are these stators and motors? Oh, no. I saw one stator and I saw one motor. So we're for sure making them. Because if I go, or rotors. Sorry, rotors. Yeah, rotors and stator. We have one. They're all being made. So theoretically, all the belts are hooked up properly. And hopefully everything just works. But I gotta let this system run for a lot longer before I can find that out. Now, as much of a pain as this factory was on the inside to deal with, it looks pretty cool on the outside, and there is a present sitting there that I need to go get. I am going to continue to monitor the inside of the facility and make sure everything works, but that is definitely going to have to be the end of this episode. It is too long. I didn't realize it was going to be so long. So first thing, next episode, I'll make sure that all the things are working, and I'll hopefully work on decorating the outside. But the big thing, I'm gonna make the other, automated wiring and versatile framework, and we're gonna get to the next phase of the space elevator because I want to move on to oil. But that is gonna be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that fun YouTube stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.